You know, every city has its secrets, those whispers that only seem to come out after dark. So today, we're going to pull apart one of those whispers, a really chilling urban legend about a bus that shows up only when all the others have stopped running. And this isn't just some ghost story, it's practically a masterclass in how to build pure dread. And it all kicks off with one simple rule. Every great scary story starts with a rule, right? And this one is so simple, so absolute, it's honestly kind of unsettling. After 12:30, no bus runs. That one sentence, that's the whole foundation for the legend. It draws a line in the sand between the normal world and, well, something else. You gotta remember this rule. It's the key to everything that's about to happen. All right, so this is where our main guy, Ravi, comes into the picture. And he's just like any of us, right? Just trying to get home late after a long day. But the storytellers here are about to use time, technology, and one really, really bad choice to completely trap him. Let's break down how they set this perfect stage. And get this, in the span of literally 2 minutes, Robbie's entire world just flips upside down. At 12:28, he's just some guy trying to get home. By 12:30, the rule is broken. The clock hits that forbidden hour, and boom, he steps onto the bus. That ticking clock creates this incredible pressure, forcing him into a decision he has no time to think about. And just to make things so much worse, his only connection to the outside world is dying, 9%. I mean, that's a modern nightmare we can all feel in our bones. It's not just about a low battery, it's a tool the story uses to completely isolate him. No Google Maps, no calling for help, no way to check if what he's seeing is real. His lifeline is about to be snipped. You have to understand the bus itself is a character here. It's not just a ride. It's presented like it's a predator. The paint has faded, the lights have this weird, unnatural glow. The sign just says last bus, which feels more like a warning than a destination. And the door? It just slides open on its own. Every little detail is screaming, don't get on. And here it is, the moment it all kicks off. The driver's first words aren't a friendly greeting, they're an ultimatum. Get on or stay here. But think about it. It's a fake choice. Who's going to choose to stay at some empty, creepy bus station in the middle of the night? The question itself is a trap, just disguised as a choice. Okay, so Robbie's on the bus. The doors are shut. He's made his choice. This is the part of the story where things start to systematically fall apart, turning that little bit of unease into pure, cold dread. The first thing that hits him is the feeling, the atmosphere. It's not just chilly, it's an unnatural cold. And the story makes this super important distinction. It's like ice, not like air conditioning. That one detail tells us, and tells him, that we've officially crossed over from the normal world into something supernatural. And you see what's happening, right? More rules are getting shattered. It's not just the 12:30 rule anymore. Now it's the basic rules of the road. A bus that doesn't stop for signals or at bus stops isn't on a route. It's on a mission. This detail just perfectly shows that Ravi is a passenger, not a customer. He's not in control anymore. Now, you'd think seeing other people would be a relief, wouldn't you? Nope, not here. The story is so clever because it uses their presence to make things even more terrifying. They just appear out of nowhere. And they're silent, their faces are pale white, their eyes are wide open, just staring. Their presence confirms this isn't a normal bus. It's a vessel for, well, for them. And then he finally gets a sign of life, the first real human connection on the bus. And it's the most terrifying thing yet. A girl whispers to him, but she doesn't ask where he's going. She asks if he got on by mistake. That one word, mistake, confirms his deepest fear. Getting on this bus was the wrong choice. It was a fatal error. And then comes the final blow, the one thing that completely severs his tie to the real world. With his last bit of battery, he texts his mom, and she shatters his entire reality. While he's trapped on this ghost bus, she texts him that he's already at home, that he got there an hour ago. And this is the moment Ravi becomes truly alone. There are two realities now, and he's trapped in the wrong one. Okay, so here we are, the climax. Everything, the creepy feeling, the silent passengers, that horrifying text message, it's all been building up to this one moment. This is where we finally find out the true nature of the last bus. The driver, who's been silent this whole time, finally speaks again. And his words are basically a death sentence. This bus is only found once. It's a one-way ticket, and the driver just confirmed it. And that laugh, described as inhuman, just strips away any tiny last shred of hope that this is all some big misunderstanding. And then the bus stops, and when Robbie looks outside, it's over. He's not in his neighborhood. He's not even in the city. There are no roads, no buildings. There's only a graveyard. This visual reveal is the gut punch, the final confirmation that this journey was never about transportation. It was about collection. Man, this line is just so chilling and also so sad. The other passengers finally speak, and they're not monsters. They are just like Ravi. They are the previous victims. They were all just trying to get home, too. Their shared fate just solidifies what's about to happen to Ravi, and suddenly they're not scary anymore. They're tragic. And here it is, the absolute peak moment of horror, the final reveal. The driver turns around, and there's no face. There is nothing there, just empty darkness, a void. That's the monster of this story, and the horror is that you can't fight it. It's nothingness itself. So after all that terror, what's left? Silence. The story shifts gears now from this intense, frantic horror to a really quiet, haunting mystery. What actually happens when the sun comes up? The bus is right back at the station, looking old and abandoned, as if nothing ever happened. It's empty, it's silent. This brings the story crashing back into the real world, but it doesn't give us any answers. And that lack of explanation is, in its own way, just as terrifying. The nightmare left no trace. Well, almost no trace, because the bus isn't completely empty. On one of the seats sits a single bag, Ravi's bag. This one detail is what makes the ending so perfect. It's the one piece of physical proof. It's the anchor that connects the impossible horror of the night to the mundane reality of the morning. Ravi is gone, but his bag proves he was there. It proves the story was real. And so, we come full circle. The story transforms from one person's terrifying experience into something way more powerful. It becomes folklore, a warning that gets passed down in whispers from one person to the next. So what is it that makes a story like this really stick with us? It's not just the jump scares. It's the simple, believable setup. A guy, late from work, who's just desperate to get home. We've all been there. It's the one simple rule that he breaks. And it's the terrifying idea that a normal, everyday thing, like catching a bus, can be a doorway to somewhere you can never come back from. And that right there is the final lesson of the legend. It's the line that makes sure the story gets told over and over again. It's a warning, wrapped up in a ghost story, reminding you that if you're ever out late and you see that bus after 12:30, you have to remember its true purpose. It hasn't come to take you home.